Hello, my name is Marjorie. Welcome to my channel. And today I am making a beautiful shabby flower. And this is for the event that is being held. It's called Handmade Flowers Across the World. I was invited by Lisa from the Crafty Corner. The event is hosted along with Lisa by Nicola Manson. And this is just so exciting, and this is a creative hub, and it is to inspire you to create handmade flowers. So I would love if you please follow the talented ladies that are participating in this event, and all their YouTube channels is going to be linked in the description box. So this is the project that I am making. So here it is. We're going to go ahead and decorate it more as I go along the project. But in this tutorial, this is going to be the final result. It's very forgiving. It's fun. So excited to teach you all on how to make this. So it will be lots and lots of fun. So I'll put this aside for now. And then we'll again decorate it with the ribbons in a bit. So the supplies that I've used to make that shabby flower, it is, let's see, so let's go with what we'll need. So I used a felt circle. I'll be using a doily as well, and a centerpiece, and just this is a piece of silk that I'll use for my centerpiece, and this is a piece of cheesecloth that I'm thinking of using for along with this centerpiece. I'm not sure, so I'm not sure if I'm going to use lace or cheesecloth or maybe even both. So it's just good to have a few pieces handy, and you kind of decide as you're making your flower. And the material that I used for the petals of the flower is this flannel. I want to say it's like a flannel type fabric. And I got this on a clearance rack in Joann's. So it was just a large piece, and I just wanted to make a flower of my own. I did one originally. I did not like the result of it, but I did not throw that project out. So I kept that flower, and I came up with an idea because I wanted to make a shabby, worn, beautiful flower. So I ended up, and I have actually a piece here. So what I've done, you would cut in strips depending on the size that you want the petals. Although I will make a note that the smaller strips you have, you may need a tweezer to finesse the petals. So basically what I've done is I would cut the strips and cut multiple strips, hot glue, extend the strip. When I have a long enough strip, I would advise for you, if you do end up loving this, just have it continuously going for whatever fabric allows, whatever size fabric you have, because it will be so much fun to just create these as you need them. And so then you hot glue the edge, you flip it over, you fold it over, and now then you have a flower petal. Then the next step from here, you would take your scissors and you would snip strips along, and you will end up getting something like this. This is a small loop. I just cut this off as an example. And the reason why I said just keep in mind, if you are going to keep smaller strips. So what I like to do, and this is just one way, I'm sure you can find different ways of finessing this, but what I like to do is I like to flip over the loop. So I don't know if you can see that. It'll start to, and this is very forgiving. There's some strips that I cut thinner. I try to do it even, but it's okay if that doesn't pan out. So I start flipping that loop over. Okay, so that may be time consuming for, it may be time consuming. However, if you're sitting watching TV, if you just are outside sipping on iced tea on a summer afternoon, you can do this. So the end result will be this here. And if you can see, I've already, for time's sake, have looped all the petals for my shabby flower. So this is what I mean of linking these strips, because I ended up, I wasn't sure how to use this fabric. So as you see, I ended up cutting it into smaller pieces. So what the solution I found was to cut it in strip and then just hot glue it so that you can have a continuous strip as you're seeing here. Hopefully, if you just have a continuous strip, you can skip this step. However, if you don't, if you have just a fabric that is available to you, don't worry about the length, because you can just hot glue it together. So this is an example of where I hot glue it and then just made a continuous strip. Okay, so this is where I've learned something pretty cool. So this is no sew project, no sew flower. I've used just hot glue, scissors, fabric, and just doilies and just any little snippets that you may have. So what I do is I start off with a dab of hot glue to kind of just start off my flower. And instead of it going along the edge, I kind of do a zigzag, if that makes sense. So for example, I'll kind of go put another dot of glue here, fold it to meet that dot of glue, and then I'll put a dab here and fold upward, and I'll just go along the same way, then go up here. So that's a zigzag Z shape. I used to be very intimidated making flowers because, I don't know, it's just, I've seen a lot of tutorials, and I saw that there's a lot of sewing, and I was not confident enough. But as I am coming out of my comfort zone when it comes to crafting projects, I am really excited to just try different type of things. And I've noticed that these flowers, whether you're gluing them or sewing them, the end result is so worth it. So I encourage you to try something new. Just kind of challenge yourself to get out of your comfort zone, because that's kind of what I did. That's why I don't measure that much. Because I don't know how things are going to turn out. I'm not sure. But in being adventurous, it has been just very fun. So I hope that this is encouraging to you. And I'm looking forward to seeing your projects, your flowers posted. And I hope you are able to share this with someone. and follow the ladies. As I mentioned, they're going to be doing different types of flowers, so that's also exciting because you can change things up, get new ideas, and I'm just so happy that I'm participating. So as you see, this is what I mean about zigzag. So I'm just going to keep going along here. I just like the way that fills up the flower, the circle, the felt circle, to form a flower. I just kind of want to adhere it more to the felt circle here. And this was also a good use for this material that I had no idea that it would be a future project for a shabby flower. And it's just really exciting. So I'm sure that you can use other fabric. I have not used any yet so far, but I'm looking forward to it. So I'm almost coming to the end of the felt circle, and again, you can tweak this to what final result you want to get. This is what makes it so fun. You can put your own twist, you can add more, you can add laces in between. You use your creative ideas and just kind of see. So what I do here at this point, I try to make sure there's no gap, so I'll probably put another strip here. Okay, so what I start doing here is I try to push back a little bit, so then that way this kind of forms a place for the centerpiece to be housed. And I think it kind of fills the flower a bit more as well. Uh-oh, I need glue. Oh, yes. Sorry, I need to fill my gun, and I had it ready because I just figured just in case, and I'm glad I did that. Okay. So it is to where I feel that the centerpiece will be placed there nicely. Am I in frame? Oh, sorry. Okay. So I think I'm happy with this here. I think what I'll do is I'll snip this about there, and I'll just kind of work my way around. Push that in. Okay. So okay. So what also I've done before, this is the second flower I made. This is now the third. What I've done before is just finesse it. You can squeeze it and make the petals work for you. You can always, if you feel like there's a spot that is too high up, you can always go in there with a hot glue gun and tack that down. So there's always room for just adjustments. And sometimes too, this may not have adhered. See, this may not have adhered too much to the actual felt. So you can always press that down, adjust as you please. Okay. All right. So now here is the flower, and there is the pieces that now we're going to decorate with. And this is why really don't sweat the small stuff, because once you start adjusting, once you start working on your centerpiece, I mean, look how gorgeous that looks already. And don't mind my fingers, I have the glue. So this is where you can kind of customize what look you want. If you want lace, I just kind of take a look at what you'd like. Or if you just want to stay with pink, of course you can fray this more, you can cut it in pieces, you can bunch it up. It's absolutely up to you. And you can always trim anything, or again bunch it up, and there you have your center. And again, you can adjust the petals, you can weather it more. So it's absolutely up to you. You can tack certain petals down. So that is a quick tutorial for you. I hope that inspires you. And now we're getting to the point where I like to put fibers, ribbons. This is where you can also get creative. Okay, let me put this now here, because now that my hot glue gun is put away. So what I love about this is that, wouldn't this be a phenomenal way of holding your laces? And then as you need lace, you can take snippets of it. So what I have here is just other ribbons that I may want to add. And let's actually look further into this flower. So we've done this. You see the centerpiece, I used that piece of silk and cheesecloth. And then on the back, I've used the doily, and I also used a lace that I cut up and put behind the petal. So that was another way, if you want to make it more cohesive, just looking more fuller, you can also do that. It's absolutely up to you. This is what I love about this project, that there's no wrong or right way, and it's also useful. So I went ahead and stuck the doily on. This is a little, see, so I have this clip, so it's kind of like a little loop that I kind of made to add a clip. So then that way you can hang it in your craft room, you can gift it to someone. This can, again, hang in your craft room, where when you need ribbon, you have your beautiful ribbon displayed. So what I've done here is I've taken these loops from the doily, and I go ahead and weave it through. So all these, they're not adhered, you weave it through. So they're available, you can use them. I think this is a beautiful way of doing swaps, gifting ribbon to a friend. I love this idea. So this is what I'm planning on doing. Could you imagine a bunch of these flowers in your craft room? Ooh, I love that. Especially when there's a lot of ribbons and there's I don't know, I have them and not until I'm cleaning up, I'm like, oh, I didn't know I had that ribbon. So here I have these sequins. So I can turn it around and you can kind of place it exactly how you want. You can add to it. I think I'll add more of this. There's also fibers that you can add for texture. It will look beautiful, shabby. If you have these fancy fibers, I call them, you can add them as well. Look how pretty this combination looks. This is called seashell. So I think this is a beautiful way of displaying your fibers, your beautiful ribbons, your sari silk, and also be used. And then as you're using it up, you can always add. So what a handy project. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I am looking forward to seeing your opinions on what you think of this tutorial. Thank you so very much, and have a wonderful day.